What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 28th day of August, and here we are sitting at about $0.00436. 10 hours, 18 minutes left in the day. We are coming up a little bit after this drop, but we did see a low of $0.0426. A little bit lower than intended. We did wick a little bit below the golden ratio here, but I think that's okay. We don't, we don't need to hold it. It doesn't need to be this rigid, immovable rule that you can't go below this zone. As long as you're going below it, hey, as long as you're going below it and then you come back up rather immediately, I think that's fine. And that's exactly what you're doing. No volume on the way down. It's like you're trying to break out to the downside, but you just can't seem to do it. So I would assume that we start to roll over to the upside here. We'll see. Let's look at the RSI. The RSI is absolutely abysmal. And somebody was asking me, I can't remember if I answered it in this video, but I know I responded, but somebody was asking me if I think that price manipulation is to blame for the reason why Zebec is not moving up, or why it's doing what it's doing, why it's been a little bit unpredictable. And I could take the easy way out. I could say, oh yes, that's why. My technical capabilities are spot on, but it's the manipulation that's proven me wrong. But I'm not going to do that. I feel like that's a cop-out. I don't know if anybody's done that. I haven't watched any other YouTubers. So if there's any of my favorite YouTubers out there who talk about Zebec who have done that, I'm not trying to talk smack. But now that I'm thinking about that, just because sometimes whenever people say, this is what I've heard, they might have heard it from somebody who's a buddy of mine. But anyways, I don't know if that's been said by anybody else or not. But maybe they're saying the same thing I'm saying, which is that manipulation happens. But I don't think that's the thing to blame here. I think the price has just gone down. Whether you want to say it's manipulation or not, I think that there's just not enough demand yet. Or maybe there is enough demand. There's some accumulation going on, and then whenever this thing rips, the supply shock is going to send this thing right through the stratosphere. I think saying that the low was here, which that was the expectation, and the fact that we didn't pump and we've gone down now, or that we haven't pumped immediately and that we've like dilly-dallied, for me to just say it's manipulation, I feel like that's a cop-out. So I'm not going to do that. No, maybe there's manipulation. There's manipulation with all things, right? There's manipulation with the dollar. There's manipulation with Bitcoin. There's manipulation with all things. But that's just part of the game. It's literally like saying I was swimming from point A to point B, but there were waves in the way. Yeah, there are going to be waves. You're in the ocean. You know what I mean? That's probably the best analogy I can give. 1 hour time frame here. RSI is beat up. It does look pretty sad, but we're doing some things that are productive, okay? We're not getting oversold. We're getting some higher lows here. Let's see if we can continue and get above the 50 for once and actually start getting into the overbought zone. Maybe tomorrow, Friday, could promote some exciting price action for us. Stochastics, also, instead of getting oversold like you did continuously here, you're bouncing off the oversold zone and you're looking to cross above the 50. This actually is a good look, in all honesty, if you can persist. And the MACD is, who cares? It's neutral. You're moving sideways. It's the 1 hour time frame. It's really not a whole lot going on there. So we're going to not really care about the MACD. All right. Good, bad, whatever. MACD on the 4 hour, however, does have bullish divergence. We do have double bullish divergence there, and beyond that, you also have higher lows with your oscillators here, which is nice to see. Look at the 4 hour time frame again. I think if we were to go lower, you've had ample opportunities over the past 12 hours to do so, and you just haven't done it. From a low to a high here, down at that golden ratio zone, I would expect at least to move up to 00457 to 00473, somewhere in this area. If you don't find resistance here, then you're going to continue to rally, right? That's that. And I wouldn't expect that you find resistance here. But if you do, maybe you come back down, you get a double bottom, and then you continue to rally, or maybe even see lower lows, and then you continue to rally. We can go from there. But my thought at the moment, hold on, guys. My thoughts are that we will continue to rally and that we will go higher. Looking at this here, stochastics are starting to cross up. We're starting to get out of the oversold zone. We're starting to cross up and come probably all the way up to the overbought zone. This is actually a really good look in itself. Whenever you have one band or one oscillator outside the oversold zone and into the band, that's not enough to get excited about. But when you have two of them like we are right now, that is exciting stuff. Again, just adding to the necessity of getting this 4 hour time frame to close green, okay? Bullish divergence on the MACD, bullish divergence on the stochastics, and a potential bounce, a double bottom bounce off the oversold zone with the RSI. All if we can persist higher rather immediately. If we go lower, again, the target area would be 0042 to 00407, okay? Nothing too crazy, but that would be the target area if we were to go lower at all, all right? In time, we will move higher. I think that time is now, but we'll see. Time will tell. Bitcoin's taking a little bit of a plunge, right? I was calling for a little bit of volatility. I don't know if I was calling for it. I just mentioned that I should be careful with my words. I was just mentioning that it could happen. We go down to about 111.5K, and that's fine. We don't need to. Maybe we continue to persist higher, but we absolutely could go down a little bit, and that's fine if we do. Looking at this here, looking at Zebec here on the daily time frame. Let's see here. Hold on. Get this. Let me see. We're going to take the high to low. Maybe we should take the relative high to low. Let's do that. Let's take this instead of the overall. High to low here. Golden ratio down to the 236. This is very volatile stuff, but we have been seeing this exact reaction all across the board for whatever reason. Things are going from their... Okay, hold on. Things are going from their golden ratio to their 236 and then pumping back up. So this is actually a perfect area to find some support. If we're taking this from a high here to an overall low, and then I take that more relative high to low again. Hold on. 1 second. Hold on. High. Nope, that's not it. High to low here. Let's see. Going up to the 1272, the minimum expectation would be about 009 to 00969, right? That might be the initial pop that we see. We could even see that going into the end of this month, but I think that'll be like the beginning of September. That's what it'll be reserved for. Find some resistance there. Check back at your 1272, 1414 area, which is very common after finding resistance at the 200, 1886. Check back and find support at the 100 area, which is pretty common after finding some resistance at the 1272. See a maneuver like this, and they continue to rally all the way up to 2 cents, if not higher. I really do believe that Zebec will see prices at 3.5 cents, or sorry, 3 cents to 4.5 cents by the end of this next move, which should take us, I think at this point, I think it's time to accept that it could be October. But you never know. Zebec can definitely top off in its own time. It doesn't have to top off in October. It could top off in September. It definitely could. But I'm expecting that we do move a little bit higher here pretty damn soon. And if we go lower, it's going to be insignificant, right? 00407 at the lowest, 0042 if at the least if we were to move lower. But all in all, I think things look good. The daily indicators are bullish overall. The stochastics actually do look bearish, if we're being honest, in that this might implicate that we go down a little bit lower. But we have found support right here in this area before, right here in this area before, resistance in this area before. So we could turn things around right now. And then the MACD is at the 0, perfect area to bounce. I'm not worried that we're crossing a little bit below here. I'd be worried if we cross a little bit more like what we did over here, right? But a little bit below is okay. We're going to scoop this 0. We're going to bounce off of it. And then the coming weeks are going to be very glorious is what I'm foreseeing here. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.